So everybody please take your seats who are on the door. We're ready to start in a few seconds. So welcome everybody to the keynote presentation of today. And before talking about the content, I'll reflect on some newspaper stuff. See, I'm old school, I still read the paper version. But I think what we read in the newspapers are the same pretty much all over the world in one aspect, and that's the physical condition and the habits of our young people. It's not as good as it was when we were young, you know. Food habits, computer game, addiction, whatever takes them away from being outdoors, from doing sports, has clearly been measured all over the place. And in Finland, we have a mandatory army service. It's optional for the ladies, it's mandatory for the men, and of course that's one place where you can measure basically the whole country. How are the youth doing and what kind of shape are they? And those results are not very fun to read. So for sure, if we could do something to attract our young people to snow sports, to any kind of physical workout or sports, it's a huge thing for society. I know the ski school I'm working in, we're working with the local town and their schools to find ways to find financing for people to enter snow sports if they haven't done so. And this is a project which personally I value very, very much, that's been worked on. And the other thing is, I mean, are we making it easy for young people to enter snow sports? Are we making it difficult? Sometimes in business you see that it's difficult to buy because the selling companies are not making things easy. And of course the same thing in sports. We should make it easy for people to enter. And to go forward with this, to get into our topic today, I'm happy to introduce Rado Pisot, who's besides an excellent skier and ski instructor and examinator, he's on the board of the International Association for Snow Sports in Schools and Universities. And he's an academic, he's a professor and director at the Science Research Center in Koper in Slovenia. Koper is a beautiful town on the Slovenian coast. If you haven't been there, please go there. But please welcome Rado Pisot.
Thanks, Uffe. Thank you, Uffe, for this very kind introduction. And he already took a quarter of my lecture. But I will find something else. So I'm very pleased and very happy to be here, to have this possibility to share my view on the topic that we will discuss today together with you in this, let's say, milieu of experts, ski instructors, coaches, trainers, demo teams. However, and I hope everybody will find something interesting for him or for her, and that I will open a discussion after my presentation. Can I have a presentation? Thanks. Okay, let's do it easy. It's easy to say, as Uffe said in the introduction, but there are other ways how to inspire future generation of snow sport participants. I will talk in general about snow sports because we are all part of snow sports. Even that the focus of the project that I represented in the second part, called Ski Easy, it's oriented toward the alpine skiing. But in general, there are a lot of things in common. First of all, I will focus in the first part about the new reality. What's going on today? What are the changes in the society that we have to be aware? Because this is the background of the story. And what changed, what doesn't change. So this is very important when you are taking your bags and you're going on the road, you're going on the way, to know where are you, then you can define where you have to go and how you have to go. And the second part, we will switch on making guest experience better. And this is the story of Ski Easy behind the project Ski Easy, which is not the hot water. It's just something that we try to develop, to build up on the scientific background. And this is the way I would like to present. So then and now, we were facing a lot of changes in the evolution of ski or snow sport industry. We were facing a lot of changes because of science and education offer the development, especially of technologies. And technologies which are developing and developing and developing are pushing all the story on. For example, changes in equipment, environment. That means now what are we witnessing to have possibility to have snow guns working at the plus 16, plus 18. These technologies that we turn in easier approach to the ski slopes. And especially, this is one of the best strengths and opportunities for us researchers, how we can do the diagnostic. Real-time biofeedback is something that is nowadays very common. And normally, we develop also different entertainment. Those same technologies offer us a lot of possibilities that make the story easier. Those are still the strengths. That means like easy turning. We change the skiing tactics and technique following the development of technologies, of equipment. But there was some also weaknesses. There are some weaknesses and threats that we are maybe not aware enough. That means increase of speed of skiing, more vibration, different vibrations, and at the end also a lot of injuries, which are also changing. And I will say something more later on. And those same technologies offer us a lot of possibilities, but they have also some weaknesses, like this is the cost of skiing today. It's very demanding. That means I have to pay more expensive ski tickets, traveling, lodgements, high cost of maintenance, not just because we need more and we want more, but also because of climate changes. Limited location, again, because of climate changes. But I'm sure that you all agree with me that skiing is still sexy. Snow sport is still sexy. So it's still, popularity is high. So that's why we need to do something all together. And we have another problem when we are discussing and trying to understand the starting point of our journey with a new generation of skiers, new generation of participants in snow sport. Low functional capability, and this is because of technologies. This is the double part of the sword. Less physical activity, sedentary, obese, low fitness. The changes in nowadays generation, which are not anymore playing outdoor, problems that we were facing last 3 years, finally over with COVID. You will see in the last slide of this part how we can understand this. We need to take really seriously those problems. But for example, let's see this, and especially be focused on the last 20 years. Last 20 years, the population, sorry, you cannot see this. That's important. In the last 15 years, because the video stopped at 2014, we increased the population of obese and overweight, if you believe or not, to more than 80%, especially in the generation of youngsters. Oh, this is one of the last recent, we can say, 2 years, 3 years old publication in Lancet. So there are over 34 million of overweight or obese, those between 5 and 19 years of age. And this sentence is something that we really have to think about. The sentence, the statement of Olhansky in the New England Journal of Medicine, who starts thinking or make us thinking about the biggest problem, the biggest pandemia in evolution of humans, that those young kids and adolescents of nowadays will have even shorter lives than their parents. 81%, as I mentioned before, are not enough physically active. 81% once again. And that's, we can say, okay, we are on the best side. Adults, less than 30%. But the studies from 2020 start in 2016. That means this subject, this population, was 1.9 million population included in this research, are now already 3-4 years older. So that means they're bringing the story at the starting point of our journey, what I was saying before. And what's going on with the screen time technologies, again, you see that the average of 4, almost 5 hours for those between 8 and 12, and more than 7 hours, the screen time of kids between 13 and 18 years. And that's not just United States, and it's not just Austria. It's the same around the world. In Slovenia, it's the same. I just took those recent published data. Okay, someone will say, yeah, Rado, you're just talking about being active. What about physical activity? Can have also some consequences. Yes, I'm okay with this. We all know that overuse and inadequate practicing and overtraining and so on leads to some health hazard. That's true. But these health hazards are directed more on the traumatic injuries. That means that there are some problems. We all have problems. I have an artificial knee, but I'm still skiing. But those problems are easier to solve. And we still have to think about this to have a right approach. But this problem between A, especially A and B, leads to the metabolic changes, which has much, much more worse consequences in the future. Okay, here is the story, summarize this first part, and let me say something about this. You see the curve of technology, and it doesn't stop because technologies are developed, and now we are discussing about the digital, informational before, now digital technology and so on. What about injuries? If you check those journals, those papers, you will see that here, let's say 50 years ago, almost 45, we had approximately 0.5 deaths per million snow days. 0.5, we count, this is the way how to count the injuries, the severe injuries, which rise on with especially because of development of technology, let's say so, to not put all the responsibility on the skis, because we are always talking the skis are dangerous. The skis are not dangerous, the skiers are dangerous, or those who are using the story in an inadequate way. Here raised from 0.5 to 1.8, more than triple. 1.8 deaths per million snow days, which start diminishing because of many of interventions directed to security, helmets, arrangements of the slopes, and so on, and were diminished to approximately 0.8 following the research. What's going on in the last years? That's interesting. If we divide all injuries in traumatic and non-traumatic, believe me, the non-traumatic injuries start raising on. That means that we are facing every day more problems on the slopes because of functional incapable, because of low functional capabilities of skiers. Talking about adults, but also about the young adolescents and young kids and so on. So here's a big problem. Heart attacks, strokes, cardiovascular problems, and so on. Those are raising every day more. And normally functional capabilities, as I said, are decreasing, and this will going on. I would like to say that we find how to solve this problem, but we didn't. Still now, we try to do something. And maybe we find something with our idea about ski easy, because being active, physically active, it means through the whole year, and what we are interested in, our family, if I can say so, it's how to offer the approach to the snow sports to the kids and adolescents, that they will become enthusiasts in this. So I present what's changed, but what doesn't change, because we are still trying to define the starting point of our journey. Then we need to know what doesn't change. And the first most important thing what doesn't change is gravity. Force of gravity doesn't change. Can you ask Newton? It's the same story till now. And what is gravity? We are taking advantage of gravity for skiing. Without gravity, we will not be able to ski. You know, sliding, steepness, we need gravity. And that's the important, very important fact, that gravity doesn't change. Physiology doesn't change. We are really worse and worse. I will never forget, I was invited to the national TV. You remember when the Baumgartner jumped from the atmosphere down, and they asked me, what's going on? Where are the limits of the humans? I say, which limits of the humans? A few hundred years ago, we were much, much better than now. There's the limits of the technology. And doesn't say that Baumgartner has a big, to jump down there. But it's not a problem of physiology. Physiology doesn't change still. And what about the motor control? We are talking about a skiing technique. Wrong. This is basic position, which is adapted to the gravity and to the motor control. I'm sorry for Ron. He's coming hopefully tomorrow. And yeah. And if we compare those photos, we will see a lot of things in common. And what is the basic aim of skiing? If you want to simplify the story, it's overcoming the fall line. We all feel good in this position. We all feel good in this position. Where's the problem of beginners here? Because of gravity, because of sliding, because of line of fall line. So this is a picture of, and it's still one of the signs of Slovenian Ski Association, of the Janez Vajkard Valvazor, almost 250 years ago. He said, very simple, oh, they were sliding down their curved wooden planks and overcoming the hill, also when the snow was soft and deep. That's an old story. You will find a lot of other stories from the history, I'm sure similar or even better. So how to overcome the hill? Safely and efficiently. That's the problem of the beginner. With joy and fun. Look at this. That's the joy, this is play, this is happiness. And normally, as much as possible, rationally and quickly for the top-level athletes. Okay, so now we know what changed and what doesn't change. We still have in front of us the starting point of journey, that we have the specific population, we have the specific story that it still exists, like natural laws, and we need to do the very simple motor pattern. That means overcoming the fall line. Okay, the facts I stress right now: high tech, high cost, no time, needs for safety, popularity, still sexy, we will agree. So how to turn the threats in our advantage? That's the story. When I was a coach, I was always happy if I was able to put the best player of the enemies on my side. So how we can turn those threats in our benefit? How to inspire future generation of snow sport? I think that the passport has to be, like Uffe said before, easy. But you know, easy, it just sounds perfect, but it's not very simple to do easy. You know the story, how to play the soccer on the first ball? That's the easiest way. But nobody played the soccer on the first ball. Because you have to know a lot, you have to be able to do this, and you have to develop the right strategy. And we were trying to develop this strategy. I was checking in a Webster dictionary, what does it mean, easy? We all know what it means, easy, but just take a look. Easy, it means little difficulty or discomfort, little effort, not severe, not steep, you can find also in the Webster. That means easy slope. Not difficult, readily taken advantage and readily available. And there comes our story. We said, let's try to do something which will be easy, but will be really focused on the basics. And let's try to explain this and to define this with the scientific background. This is the project with 9 partners, with personal involvement of 13 countries. IAESS, do you know already how to spell IAESS? I-A-E. Okay. This is the story you have to remember, IAESS, International Association of Education and Science in Snow Sport. It's one of the member Science Research Center, and 9 countries which succeed to get this Erasmus Plus project co-founded by Erasmus program. Okay, focus on all the background that I presented before. We said at that time, how to do this? We want to do easy, but how? One very important and completely new fact from the theory, it's old almost 100 years, it's to understand how to do learner-centered approach. I have heard many, and I have read actually many interesting abstracts focusing on this, how to offer the right process of motor learning, decision-making, and so on and so on. But still, I think we have the story old more than almost 100 years, sorry, but I can, for sure, I can say, I'm sure that we are not enough aware about this. What does it mean? Because when Vygotsky says, yeah, we have to lead the kid from the developmental level to the potential development level, he said one sentence, very simple. We teachers, are with the learner to bring them to the point that they alone will never reach. Understand? We are there to bring them, to offer them the path to the point to the aim which they alone will never reach. That means that if we are just there to show them how to ski, to demonstrate them, that they try to repeat what are we doing, and if you offer the process, that they will come even alone. So it's better that we go apart, take a beer, because unfortunately I have seen a lot of teachers that they were not even able to catch from the kids the basic things that they can offer them, this problem-solving path which guides the learner to the potential development level. So here is methodic, here is the right methodic, here is the teacher training. And we cannot offer one who is here something what is here. So we have to offer them step by step and do slowly those steps which are very important. The second question, how? We answered with the basics. That means that we have to focus on the basic needs, basic facts. And here is very important to understand what is moving on the snow and what is ski technique. So the basics means develop right triggers, motor skills triggers. That means how we can offer a kind of exercise which will enhance motor transfer. Okay, this is not the story also, but enhance and click on the right motor skill trigger. For example, we all know, the circles, playing with the circles, kids. What we'll do usually if you give them the circle? It's true? Like driving a car. No go in skiing. Why not? Because if I have this position and I do this, it's fake. I'm going left. In reality, I will go right. That means we cannot do this. What we can do? We can drive the track. You know what I mean? So this is in this case, this is also so-called bilateral motor transfer, coming from arms to legs and so on. But that means that we can act in a right way. That they will embody it, they will internalize the story of skiing. Not, once again, not make them repeat and try to automatize your demonstration. They have to find the right trigger. And it's the same not for the beginners, it's the same with also top-level athletes. When they catch the story, when they are in, then the problem is solved. Yeah, what I said before, I had a discussion yesterday with Justo about we are dynamic being. Yeah, we were dynamic being. We are not anymore so dynamic being. And years ago, we were so dynamic, there was not a problem. When it was slippery, I find a situation, a solution to stay on. If we have no experience, if we have no practice, if we have no outdoor activity, then this problem becomes very actual and very big. Because gravity, physiology is acting. We need to react. And this is the story of the motor skills triggers. How to react to the acting forces. Okay, then we said how, again, we want to do this based on the research, on education, technology background. And we start our journey, preparing curriculum, manuals, didactic materials, and also mobile application, that I will say something more later on with presenting the story. And yeah, and we based on the needs, so the basic triggers. So 5 steps of the Ski Easy, as we said, unified. Why we are calling unified model of teaching skiing? Because we unified the story between those countries we are participating in, together with IESS. That means not uniform, once again. We don't want to have something uniform. We have great ski schools all around the world, from Austria, Japan, Italy, United States, Slovenia, and so on. That's why, but it will be good that at this level, as I said before, the milieu of experts, to be at least unified about what are the basic triggers that we have to focus on when we are teaching skiing. Trunk stability, the first and the most important for me, and I guess also for you. Speed control, stopping, so getting a sense, internalize, embodied the sense of trunk stability. Speed control, turn control, that means changing direction. Playing with the center of mass, this is the story. Playing with the center of mass. And at the end, coordinated turning. So those pictures you are seeing here are all from the Ski Easy events we organized in the last few years, 2 years, where we were trying to develop the exercises, which we call the path to the motor skill trigger, like we can see in this photo. So this is a little bit, we call this trick or treats. Let's go, it's a carnival, let's go trick or treats. Very, very simple. They were not even aware that they were turning, because this is a game. They are playing. And this is how we need to understand also those 5 steps that we defined, like adaptation, familiarization, sliding control, stopping, changing direction and turning, imagining the center, managing the center of mass, and coordinated skiing. We will present those 5 steps at the workshop tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So you are all invited to discuss with us, because we would like that you judge the story from your point of view and discuss with us what we can do better, because we are still in the fine-tuning of the whole process. We defined each step from the, as I said, scientific background. That means from the part of psychological, educational, biomechanics, and motor control, directions of loading and unloading, and also pointed out the problems. Here is the approach. When we start working on this, we said if we want the right path to the motor skills triggers, we have to think about everything. We put out the template, trying to add as much as possible research findings already known, and then to work on this. Yeah, this is one of example. However, I don't know what is the habit here, but if someone wants to have this PowerPoint, just send me an email and I will send it to you. It's not a problem. And you can read slowly all those things. So, it's still in progress, as mentioned before. An application, manuals, everything will be, as I said, open access and free, available. Ski Easy equipment. We offered to 300 kids free 300 pairs, boots and poles made by Ellen, focusing on special, let's say, material with so-called U-Flex technology, or a soft. And better to maybe ask, there were 10 meetings. There were also 2 extraordinary, one in Levi last year and now in Levi again. And you will see something. I will comment slowly these 2 videos. You will get the idea how we put out the mobile application. First, we start with the kids, measuring kinematics of turns, preparing the story, the background for the application with the avatar you will see. And from this avatar that we get for those steps, we build up the application and animation with these five steps. Then we organized the pilot event. The first pilot event was called pilot because that time we had, I think, approximately 4. This is an application I will show you later. With 40 kids and some ski instructors. Maybe someone were there. This is an Olympic center in Jahorina, Sarajevo. Those are the skis and the boots. And we start with working with the kids, focusing on those 5 steps that I mentioned before. First, trunk stabilization, okay, warming up. Then you will see all those games, and you are invited to play with us tomorrow, as I mentioned, and after tomorrow. After tomorrow, we will have the presentation of those 5 steps, and after tomorrow, we have the working together with the mobile application. So you see, then we start sliding and stopping, using also voices. That's also something which is motor trigger, no? You cannot say, ah, and be in this position. You can say, ah, but you can say, e, no? Try to do, e, oh, no go. That's something which is inside. And then we had the next meeting, where I can say they were great, Bulgarian demo team. They play with kids, and they try to, at that point, we got the first also closed ski easy, so that we are presenting all around the world the story. And those were next 50, or I don't know, approximately kids that they get the certificate. Then we had a meeting this January in Kopaonik, where we had one day working with the ski instructors, which were leading kids next day. So you know that it's pretty simple to make them be able, that they become able to do first turns in one day. But we use different, very simple also, once again, simple exercises. Not with a lot of stuff, with a lot of tools and so on. Tools are always good, but don't say, I have no tools. If you have a knowledge, you can develop everything. So then we repeat all those games with pushing and pulling. Especially we focus a lot on trunk stabilization. This has to be pointed out again and again. Then we start already the end of the first day. On the second step, on the third step, okay, meetings, discussion, and then next day again, starting with this. Every day you have to start with warming up with this pushing, pulling games, and they were already able to do changing direction and even playing with the center of mass or managing center of mass. In 2 days, they were able to reach the point of the 4th, we can say even 5th step, but normally 5th step, it's coordinated skiing. They have to, this is another discussion for next maybe. So then we have an Innsbruck meeting a few weeks ago, the group of Ski Easy members, and here we had 180 kids. 80 of them were complete beginners or have a very, very less experience. And listen to me, they were coming from the more than 40 nationalities. But they were great. They did really a great job. We did a great job with them. And they succeed to ski also in 2 days following the same. We didn't prepare yet the video about this. Okay, as mentioned before, we are still working on manuals. This is the web page of the project. All those manuals will be available for all of you, free. We will do also some hard copies. And talking about mobile application, please help us. I said after tomorrow we will have the workshop. You will all make a photo of this. This is the password, which is temporal, just for you being here. Interski 23. When you enter in this application, you have to put the password, and you have to click on the language you want. We translated the story in 13 languages. Slovene, English, Bosnian, Bulgarian, Croatian, Finnish, French, German, Italian, Japan, Russian, Serbian, Slovenian, Spanish. In all those languages, you can get some help. You will not. Don't accuse me that I'm a language teacher, no, because I'm not. This is help to find some words in the field of ski equipment, in the field of body parts, ski environment, ski technique, didactic tools, useful phrases, and also 5-step video animation. So let me just briefly show you this. So it's much better on the phone. Remember one important thing, when you, for example, choose Sweden, you have to download all assets, so I did it before. If you do not unload this, you will have a problem. Then when you are, it works or not? Ah, yes, sorry. Yeah. You can do this when you're online, and then you don't need to be online when you're working on the slope. What's the problem? If you click on home, you will be directed to the web page. There will be all the manuals and all the other things are not ready because the project is not finished. Dictionary, as mentioned, you have all those languages, and videos, you have 5 steps, 2, 3, 4 exercises for each. I believe this will be very useful to show to the kids. They will not be able to see and to ski in this way, but they will be motivated. That's what I said. Turn the enemy, like screens, in your advantage. Use the videos with to motivate them, and then also to get an idea how you can change. Probably you can wait. Probably maybe
Change the other.
no, but maybe you have to do first this, and then go out. No. Yeah, go out. That's it. No. Yeah. Yes. Thanks. So as I said before, if you have English Sweden, then you can. So it's easier on the phone because you have the whole screen on. For example, dictionary, you put ski environment, and then you try to. Okay, you cannot hear this because it's not good. Okay, ski technique, I don't know. I have to say that I'm sorry because the Finnish language is not Finnish yet, but probably because it's a game of words, but it's true. It is there, but it's not supported with the voice. And then you have videos, for example, the stories like you saw before. Well, how to do this, and then you can explain to the kid, you can offer them this experience. Then you can go to, I don't know, managing the center of mass. Here you have even some forces presented that they can understand better, when to unload and then load, and unload and then load, and so on. And then you have also some games for the, let's say, coordinated skiing, like playing with windows. So there are some exercises. All those exercises will be presented also in the workshop, and we will go through, and then we will maybe, why not, also change something following your comments, following your suggestions. Okay, and that's more or less all. If you took the picture of the web page, and if you took the picture of the password, it's very simple, Interski 23. You will enter in this, and you can prepare yourself for this. Okay, so let me conclude. Here I see that I have 2 minutes. Ski easy. It means that we need to educate in an easy way through snow sport with special focus on learner and ski instructor. Accessible learning and promoting participation. Simple in communication using different tools and possibilities that we have all around. And youthful. Youthful, that means, yeah, okay, I'm against screen time. But if you can turn this in your favor, show them something, at least something positive we'll find out from here. Take-home message, yeah, once again I will say, we always have to be focused on overall impact on growing snow sports and to make the guest experience better. That's our responsibility. Think about who are the best, I will say, multiplayers. Future users, I will not say opinion leaders, but opinion makers for sure. Kids are the best opinion makers. So think about who are they. From the negative point of view, that they are not able like kids 20 years ago, their functional capabilities are lower or worse, but still. And think about this triple 80%. There was a small research doing in Slovenian ski schools, but I think that's more or less similar all around the world. Listen, this is the last thing that I would like to point it out. We find out that there are almost 80% of ski schools that are dealing with beginners. That means that those who enter in the ski school, they ask for the ski lessons, 80% of them are beginners. 80% of those beginners are between age 4 and 10, 12. And 80% of those need basics. That means that you will never come, even, I don't know if you will reach the basic turns, but they need the basics. That's why we need to focus more on this story. And that's why we have to find a way which is simple and efficient. And the last, let's say, take-home message, not forget the basics, I mentioned already. Remember that what we miss or skip may never be made up. Be focused on user-friendly approach. Use different tools, IT, why not? And think about those 5-step ski easy steps. Think about being more unified. We are sometimes frustrating our clients. Frustrating with the, can you imagine the kids a little bit too fat or obese, how to say? We put a few kilos on each leg and we tell them, enjoy. What? How I can enjoy with this? I need the push, the right push in this direction. And don't forget, you will never have the second possibility to offer the first experience. It's always the second. The first is the most important. Okay, so before I end, it's a problem. Before I end, I would like to remind you about one survey, was already mentioned by our president, Dieter Bubek. Please help us. We have, what I have heard, around 1,300 experts here around. We need your help. You will need 10 minutes to give us some feedback about questions about sustainability. This is one big problem. We can talk hours and hours about how we have to teach. If we will have no one to teach, that will be a big problem. So this is something that's going on very fast. Help us, please. Not forget to come to the workshops. We have also some presents for you. Very nice, easy cover for your Googles, but only those who will come to the, and we will teach them, Peter, IESS also dancing. Yeah, you are very welcome, so please come and stay with us. Okay, let me acknowledge the most important people around me and the most important experience I got in the last years, and this is for sure, the IESS board. Thank for all of you. We are doing really great story together, and I believe that in the next 4 years, thanks to also all member countries that they support us for the next 4 years, we can promise even more. It's true, Peter. We will offer them. So thanks again to have this possibility of being part of this family. Normally, I have to thank the whole partners and the group of Ski Easy because we are really good friends. And you all are participating in a great way. And I have to thank here especially Sasha, who is doing really incredible work behind us to coordinating all the activities as a project coordinator. Thanks, Sasha. And I have to thank also at the end my closer family, if I can say, where I'm trying to also searching for the new knowledge, combining science and practice, and normally my Science Research Center, my group of researchers. What is the motto of the IESS? It's where the science meets practice, and we are doing the same in our research center. So thanks again, thanks for listening, and I'm really looking forward to your questions and your comments, and be as critical as possible. I have a long way behind me, and I have a hard skin, don't worry. Just be critical, I like this. Thank you.
So we have a couple microphones around in the audience. Do you have questions or comments to Rado? Please raise your hand and you'll get a microphone. Nothing yet. Maybe they will. Oh, there's somebody. Yep.
Hello, my name is Simon. I am just wondering, is there a plan to add more content to this app with the kids, the avatar thing?
Sorry, to the app? What, you're missing something?
The app, the content with the avatar, the children doing these exercises. Are there plans to add more of those videos or avatar things?
If we plan more videos for each step and so on. What we planned is to put 4 to 5 exercises, 5 animations for each step, so that you can get an idea how to develop the story. And then I'm sure when you understand the background, you can make hundreds of exercises following this. I'm not sure that I catch your question. It is, okay. Please. Sorry, if you can.
Yeah. Can I have your presentation data, the paper?
Yes, you can get my presentation. So
How can I
maybe
do that?
I don't know, Ufek, I can give it to
Yeah.
you and you can spread it or someone ask or
Yeah,
how can we do this?
I think they should be available in the internet or Interski app that we have.
Okay.
Through there, we should be able to distribute everything.
But it will be in PDF. So, and we have all the permissions of all kids on the photos. Don't worry.
We're just about to close shop, so maybe just to summarize, I mean, what you're saying: easy, educational, accessible, simple, youthful, just like you and I. So that's really, really good. But my real question, and the question goes to everybody out there as well. We hear how important kids are. We hear the importance of our future customers. We hear the social impact of having people exercising as young people. Do we put good enough ski instructors doing this? Are we putting our experts, our best instructors, teaching our most important customers? Or do we have our best ones doing high-speed carving turns somewhere, and then we have first-year instructors doing the working with the kids? Really? How do? Thank you. What's your observation, Rado? What are ski schools taking the kids? You know, are they important enough? Do they put the best instructors doing it?
No, that's an old story, you know, that we all know how to make the thing upside down. We are making the things upside down. Those who knows a lot about this are usually not working with the small kids, and that's the problem. Because if we skip the basics, we'll have problems the whole journey forward on. And I think that also maybe we underestimate or undervalue the things that are easy. No? Because someone maybe will ask me, how we can talk 1 hour about something that is easy? Well, we can talk hours and hours to find the right way. And I'm more than sure, and I agree completely, that we are not focusing and not putting enough importance on those basic steps and those who are working with the kids. And those are our customers. If they will not be if they will not be inspired by us, they will not come back to the ski slopes. And we will lose not just the sport that we all love, but we will lose the whole industry. And snow sport is in crisis because of environmental change and other things. So what we can do is the easiest way to offer the kind and easy approach and to motivate them and inspire them.
Okay, thanks. We have one more question coming from the audience, and then we'll cut because of our timing. And you'll find Rado at the workshops. You'll find him around it. Please.
Okay, thank you. My name is Janus, and this seems like a good approach to make it easy to get a good start. Is this coordinated with an effort to get more kids to the slopes?
If it's this coordinated with this to get more kids on the slopes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the main goal. That's the main goal. That's why we also, I mentioned before, and I skipped something, now I remember, but I mentioned before that we organized to offer 300 pairs of skis, boots, and poles to deprivileged groups of kids. So they can use this free of charge for the next 5, I don't know how many years that will be before they destroy the equipment. But that has an important meaning. Now, those kids will never have a first experience with snow if they will not get this equipment. And this is a good step forward. And what we are planning was mentioned, but I didn't stop there. It's also a kind of, not say certification, but specialization. To offer to those, this is the duty of responsibility of IESS in the future months, to prepare the curriculum for, let's say, 3-4 days. We will discuss together specialization for those who are already ski teachers and they are interested in working with the beginners. I will not say just kids, but beginners in general are those who can get a lot from this approach. And as I said already in the beginning, this is not hot water. This is something that we just were able to agree, 13 countries, what I said, and we are offering to you to do, to think with us. There is maybe the last question. Sorry, they have. To think with us how we can do this even broader, that we will all focus more on this, what Uffe mentioned now. This is important. How to get them back. We have to get them back, you know, because after the Corona period, we lost a lot of future clients.
Poland, I see here a vast chance in bringing kids away from mobile phones, because you mentioned it already, but I see it like that. They come to the first experience, they see it works, they laugh, they start to laugh skiing, and then you can tell them, okay, now you've got to do more about your motor skills, about your core stability and so on. And maybe in your app you could also add a little bit exercises that the kids later on may do at home. Because this is the vastest problem. Because if they want to do further progress than in skiing, the really basics are cool, yeah? That make them love skiing, but then they want to ski on, and if you want to ski, then you have to be really fit. And that could be the trigger that will bring them away from mobile phones, from laptops, from sitting in front of the TV, and so on and so forth. So that's my comment to it.
Thanks, Peter. Good idea. So we were discussing at the last meeting in Innsbruck a lot about this. This is a part of motor transfer that we can do at home before. Also cycling, inline skating, and so on to get the idea. And we can put, to add to this, how they can enter in this space. That's for sure something that it's very interesting. Thanks for this comment, Peter.
Okay. I'm fortunate then to cut right now, because otherwise he's going to ask for extra pay. So thanks, Rado, for a great presentation. Give a big applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Have an enjoyable days.